Good morning. Hope you're having a great Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend and got some things done that you needed to get done. And we're headed back to a great week in the Lord. And I know we're going through things in the world. I mean, it's not, I'm not one of those people that thinks that because we're a Christian that we're immune to everything that's going on out there. And quite the opposite. I think we need to get right in the middle of it. In a good way. We need to be praying. We need to be talking to people and finding out what's going on with them about this. Are they freaking out about this? Let's give them some peace and perspective from God's world. And we live in this world, but we're not of this world. So let's get in that fight out there with people around us, our families and our people around us. And let's be a healing force for them and a stable force for them right now to give them strength in their daily lives. So I need to talk about, I need to apologize. Some things I said last week, I think some people, I didn't say it right or I didn't explain it right, and people didn't understand it, didn't take it right, and had some questions and were confused. And I definitely do not want to say things that are confusing people or causing division or those kind of any issues like that. So I want to make sure and clarify and correct what I talked about last week and make sure that you understand where I'm coming from. You know, in 7 minutes, a little 7-minute message, it's hard sometimes for me to get exactly maybe across what I'm trying to say. So I started these things on Mondays to encourage you for the week and to give you something to strive for during the week. And this confusion for some people over this weekend, that really bothered me. So I want to talk about that today. So we're going to go back to Philippians, and we're going to be in the 3rd chapter of Philippians. We're in the New Living Translation. And what I focused on last week was chapter 3, verse 13. And it says, Paul is saying, you know, I haven't reached this. I haven't reached perfect. I'm not perfect. He's trying to be what Jesus wants him to be. He learned everything he could about the law, and he was so learned in the Jewish customs and laws, and now he's been sent to the Gentiles. He's been sent to go work with the Gentiles, and he writes the New Testament, or most of it. And so, but he says that all that stuff I learned, all the laws and all that stuff I learned, and everything I learned about the Jewish customs and everything I learned about how I had to do this and this and this, well, I don't even think that's important anymore, because what's important is Jesus and what he did for us and what his sacrifice was. And now I'm trying to reach the perfection that he wants me to be like Jesus. And so what he says here, he says, I haven't reached there. And he says, but this one thing that he focuses on one thing. And in 14 it says, or in 13, it says, I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and look forward to what lies ahead. And I said last week, and what I confused people with is I said, we need to forget the good things. And I didn't mean forget all the things God's done for us, because we need to remember all the great things God has done for us. If he's healed you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, those things have to be remembered. You have to remember the goodness of God. You have to remember his faithfulness to you. And you know, back in the Old Testament, they would even build monuments so that when the younger generations would know and could see that and could build on the fact that, hey, God met us here. And so you need to remember those as an anchor. They need to anchor you. They need to be something that you can have a foundation on and believe in those things in the Lord and see those things. I did not in any way mean to forget those things. What I was talking about is forgetting those things in your head that tell you, okay, yesterday when I met with this person, I was talking to them and they wanted me to pray for them. I said this prayer and their day got better or they got healed. And so now I'm going to say that exact prayer every time I meet with somebody. What I'm saying is we need to forget the patterns that we think we have to do to impact the world and impact our sphere of influence and the people around us. By living in the moment, and what I was talking about last week is living in the moment for us to be present in that moment with people at that moment. What is the Spirit telling us at that moment? He may have us do something totally different with this group of people or with this person than we did yesterday. So let's not create a pattern in our head that we have to do it the same way all the time. And so I was saying, forgetting the past in the fact that we're not going to remember how we did something and make it a pattern, write a book about it and say these are the 10 steps of how we pray for somebody, or these are the 10 steps of no, it is being in the moment with God all the time and listening and being sensitive to His Spirit and knowing how to act, when to be quiet, when to talk, when to just do something, when to give a hug, when not, when it's being sensitive to His leading. And I was saying, let's forget the pattern. Let's not be those that hand out tracts and that's the only thing, we're just handing out tracts and that's what God, No. Let's be in prayer and prayerful thoughtfulness in our spirit each time we're with somebody. Is there something that they need? Is there something the Lord is telling me to give them? Is there something that I can do for them that the Lord wants me to do? And that's what I was talking about. Don't forget your past experiences with God. Those you build on and those you remember, and it's a foundation. And so if I confused anybody last week, please forgive me. And I hope you understood what I was saying. If you didn't, I hope this clarified it today. And I hope you have a great week. So be encouraged, and let's go out and get in the fight, and let's go out and help some people, and let's just be peace, 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 and love, 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 because that's what God is. All right? Have a great week. God bless.